Okay, I have my book notes. Let's talk about some books. This week, I am trying to take a break from social media, and I'm trying to avoid it for the week, give myself a little palate cleanse from all things social media. So, I thought it would be fun if I just listened to a bunch of random audiobooks from the Libby library app that were available. I don't know anything about these books. I quite literally judged them by their cover, and I looked up the reviews, and they were in my range of reviews that I like to stay within, which is like 3.5 and higher. So I was like, okay, I'll give them a shot. I know that a lot of them are about magic, and a lot of them are about mysteries, and those are two things that I really like. So I have listened to 2 of them so far today, and the first one I listened to was about an hour and a half. It was really short. It was like a little short story, and I loved it. It was so cute, and that was, let me pull it up here, drum roll please. Bubby, give me a drum roll. No, nothing? Cool. That was Sugar Cookies and Sirens by Danielle Garrett. It was actually the 4th one in the series. Why I started with that, I don't know. It turned out okay. I wasn't confused, and I had a great time. I think this series is so cute. It's very predictable. It is very predictable. I knew right away what was going to happen, especially from the title, but I still had so much fun. This is a very character-driven book. I can only talk about this one. I haven't read the other series, so I don't know. But so far, it's very character-driven, and the characters are just great. They're just really entertaining, and I loved all of them. In this book specifically, my favorite was the familiar. I think her name was Celine, or their name was Celine, and they were amazing. I loved them so much. They carried the entire book, and it was great. I had a lot of fun. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I just had a lot of fun reading it, or I should say listening to it. The second book that I listened to today was Midlife Curses by Christine Zane Thomas. This one, and maybe it's because I was riding off of the high of Sugar Cookies and Sirens, but this one just wasn't as good. And I kind of was expecting that. I was expecting to hate most of these random books that I found, but I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. It was quite literally the textbook definition of okay. It was okay. But maybe for me, I felt like it was giving fanfic. It was giving Harry Potter meets The Discovery of Witches. And I just didn't really find it, like, super interesting. I listened to it all the way through, so, like, I finished it. But it was kind of just like, it was okay. I didn't hate it. But I don't think I'll be reading the rest of the books in the series, that's for sure. But maybe it's also just because I've already read Harry Potter and The Discovery of Witches, and I've already read something similar that I'm kind of just, like, not really that interested. However, this book talks about Harry Potter so much. Like, at least once every chapter, it's mentioning Harry Potter. And don't get me wrong, I like Harry Potter. Clearly, my dog is named after Albus Dumbledore. However, I don't love Harry Potter that much where I need to hear about it and hear how everything in the world is compared to it. It felt like this entire book was kind of dependent on other things, other books, other shows, and not so much like in the book itself. That's my personal opinion. I'll check back in later with what I think. I have a couple other books that I plan on listening to this week, but at the end of the day, I'm just having a lot of fun. This is just fun. I have no expectation, and this is fun. So part of this? You can be a part of this. It's fine. Do you feel like you're a part of this? What if I give you cuddles? Give you the good ear scratches. Oh. I finished another book from my reading random books that are available on the library app Adventure. It's called Murder in G Major by Alexia Gordon, I think is how you pronounce that. And I have some thoughts on it. First of all, I did not finish it. I did not. It got really boring. And I think the only reason why it was so boring is it had too much fluff. Like, hi. The audiobook was like, I want to say like 6 hours. And I feel like maybe it could have been like 2 or 3. There was a lot of just fluff. And I don't think the fluff was necessary. The next book that I am reading in my random, in my random books series, it's not a series, it's just something that I'm doing and it's fun, is The Invisible Library by Genevieve Cogman, I think is how you pronounce her name. I hope that's correct. I really like it. I'm like 50% in. I really like the world building so far. It's kind of fast paced. It's very like intriguing, where it's like a lot of things are happening where you're like, okay, well, where is this kind of gonna go? And then you have some predictions with it as well, which are always really fun. It's not dinner time. You have 5 minutes. I think you can make it. So I'm gonna probably not finish it tonight, probably finish it tomorrow, but definitely listen to a lot of it tonight while I cook dinner and do other things around the house. I just finished The Invisible Library and I really liked it. I wouldn't say it was a 5. I would say it was like a 4.5, if anything. I like the way that they incorporated the world building into the story. Sometimes with some books, personally, I feel like it can be too lengthy or not enough or just put there randomly. I like how they incorporated it more like in the character's natural dialogue or bits and pieces here and there. Who doesn't love a detective library story? I really enjoyed it. I really did. I think I will definitely be reading the other books in the series. I also watched the first episode of the new season of the Bridgerton series, and I have thoughts. One, I love the videography this season. I love the different angles. It feels like we're seeing like a different part of the world, which is really cool. I am really excited to see what's going to happen. Also, is this season going to be the messiest one yet? Given what Miss Whistledown has been writing about the Bridgerton family and her and Colin about to get real close. So, I don't know if I'm ready for the amount of tea that's about to be spilled over this season, but I'm really excited. Anyways, I'm going to go to bed. I'm really, really tired. And yeah, that's where we're at today. Bye. Listen to the last book of like the 5 random books that I found on the Libby app to listen to this week, which was The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. And I didn't really like it. I didn't finish it. I tried to push through, and I thought maybe it would get better, but I was not interested. I think there was too much happening at once. Like, I get what the author was trying to do. For me personally, in the books I like to read, it felt like it was just a little bit too much, and some things got lost. It was not my cup of tea, but I'm glad I tried it. But I had a lot of fun this week. I found 2 different series that I would like to continue, which I honestly was expecting to not like any of the books that I picked up. But the fact that I found like 2 series that I'm like, okay, this is just fun. Is it probably going to be the best thing I've ever read? No. Do I still want to read it just because it's fun? Yes. And I call that a win. And I also managed to stay off of social media for an entire week. And honestly, it wasn't too hard. It was hard sometimes because it was like when I was in a lull of things to do or things to listen to, that's where I found myself like trying to reach for it and like having to like look at other things or like do other things or like find things to read. I did go on Pinterest quite a bit. I don't know if that's cheating or not, but I didn't go on my main social medias. I didn't go on TikTok. I didn't go on Instagram. I didn't go on Facebook. I didn't go on Snapchat. I think the only times that I went on things was literally to respond to people who have messaged me, and then I hopped right back off. And honestly, it feels pretty good. I feel like maybe I've missed a lot of what's going on, but I'm also it allowed me to enjoy my week a little bit more, so maybe it's something that I'll make a habit of. But also I feel more creative. Like I'm not like stuck in like the doom scroll. Like I want to do things with my hands. I also watched episode 2 of the new Bridgerton series, and oh my god. I feel like this might be one of the messiest seasons yet. It's crazy. Spoiler alert. Spoiler. You've been warned. Louise is pissing me off. Because I understand she feels betrayed that her friend didn't tell her and is writing a bunch of things about everybody. However, she loved Whistledown until she found out it was Penelope. And she does not realize that Penelope had to write those things about her to protect her. Because literally, the Queen was coming for you. The Queen of England was coming for you. And this is the only way that she could protect you. And it irritates me that you don't see that. Like, you can't connect the fact that, like, the Queen was coming for you. That awful thing sadly had to come out about you. And then the Queen left you alone. Which would be worse? Lady Whistledown writing about you, or literally the Queen of England coming for you? I don't have therapy this week, and I'm feeling the effects of that. So what I'm gonna do to try to counteract that is I think I'm gonna journal for like however long I need to, and I'm gonna use that in place of like my therapy, where I would usually talk to my therapist about what's been going on in ye old noggin. In other words, I'm gonna edit and journal.
Go through that crossfire.